Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jessica.
Today, we are here to talk about grief. And the other thing that I would say with regards to the Popish Plot Guide to Grieving is if you are not the one who is grieving, remember that, number one, you don't get a say in how long they grieve for. Unless, of course, or how they grieve. Unless, of course, you, as a brother or sister in Christ, are looking at that process and are seeing those bad fruits. The despair and the sorrow and the maybe leaning a little closer towards those near occasions of sin and things. And as long as a person is grieving and their grieving is not bringing about the potential ruination of their soul.
Well, from the, free ebooks and free Facebook groups I joined and such, there is the fact that, two people can be, crying their eyes out and have different effect.
Yes.
So, sometimes you just need to cry your eyes out.
Sure.
But if that's all you're doing, then that probably means that you are hurting yourself physically because you're not, eating and exercising and doing other things you need to do, and spiritually because you're, just kind of like down.
Yeah.
Why, if it's like, I need this cry, you have a good cry, and then you're, not better, but,
sure.
Better-ish for the moment.
I'm just suggesting that if we were the ones who are not grieving,
yeah,
I would not want to be the one who's making a person who's acting in such a way that it might possibly make a person feel guilty for being in a state of grief. The other thing is, it is perfectly all right for you as a non-grieving person to not know what to do or to say about somebody else who's grieving.
I have to say, because our friends, our family, our church family have been amazingly good at this.
Exceptional.
Yes. Is that the ones whose words meant the most are either A, I haven't experienced this, so I have no words.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to you. I just know that I'm praying for you.
Yes. Or B, I experienced something similar. Simply because they made it through. You look at them now and go, I didn't even know that. If they can get through,
I didn't even know that you'd gone through this. But
or,
if you can get through this.
I knew this, and somehow it's made your faith stronger.
Exactly. So, and that right there really would be my guidelines for the non-grieving dealing with a grieving person. Is number one, prayer is always good. Number two, if you don't know what to say that you don't know what to say. Let that be the thing that you say.
It's a good thing to say.
And
it works.
And this third one I would say really only works for somebody who has been there. But if you know what to say, maybe don't say it like as if I know this is the thing that you need to hear, but maybe suggest it as I went through what you've been through, and one of the things that really meant a lot to me when I did was X.
Yes.
Because, once again, their grief and your grief are not necessarily the same grief. But the best thing that you can do, if you are the non-grieving party, is to let them know that they are not alone. Because grieving is a very alone kind of a feeling.
I feel like grieving is especially alone because you get all that snot and you feel gross.
You feel gross, and then you feel like these people do not want to see me when I'm all gross.
I do not pretty cry.
No, you don't.
It's okay. You can tell the truth. I don't.
It's okay. Anyways, so these are some things that we would recommend as far as dealing with grief. Unfortunately, I really had hoped when I envisioned this episode that I would come up with. I think
they would have like a list
that I would be able to be like,
something.
hey, look, I found this list by Saint so and so, and here he goes. He lays it all out. The perfect way for a Catholic to grieve, and unfortunately, they're just. It's not a thing where that thing can really exist.
I figured the Martins could have had it, and
you'd think a family like theirs would have gotten this. I mean, but They did get it. The problem was
they down.
Well, the problem is that they got how it worked for them. And it really wasn't something that would necessarily translate to anybody else. So you don't write these things down. But look, we're writing these things down effectively.
We're not super helpful.
We're not super helpful.
It is what we're known for.
We're trying. Religious-y stuff and churchy purposes. Anyways, so go down below. And in the comment section...
Perhaps you'd like to start a fight about whether the Old Testament rule about not getting tattoos for the dead counts or if it's just a law of the time.
Or perhaps...
Officially, the word is it doesn't count, but I love the fights.
Or perhaps you are somebody who knows us and knows what we've been going through and you just really want to go and express your feelings of condolence and sorrow, and that's cool too.
But we just told them to either say, I don't have words, or here's my story.
I don't have words, or here's my story, or, and this one works, like, in my experience, 75% of the time, I just want you to know I'm praying for you. And that's fine too. So go while you're down there, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the bell next to it so you get notified when new episodes come out. And once again, as always, if you think that the Popish plot is something that more people could benefit from, go and hit that like button, because that puts our show in front of more people and helps us share with them. Mm-hmm. And until next time, remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
And share that love.